Grab those folks that know what you need and have been there before so they can be your support system. Just like you wouldn't leave your baby with anyone to watch them, you can't just leave your business with anyone to watch it or certain departments. Just like you wouldn't trust your wallet with someone you don't know, you can't trust your business, its revenue, its financials, the checkbook, to just anyone. What type of structured rules, guidelines, type of people, how you're going to do business, the way you're going to go about it, those are your core values. They come from within you. So would you find and hire a babysitter that's never taken care of an infant before? No, of course you wouldn't. So you don't want to hire an accountant that's never taken care of a construction company before. Labor is the key. If you can manage your total labor cost, you actually can determine whether or not you'll be profitable or not. And that's very true in construction and also true in manufacturing. Welcome everybody to today's episode of the Mobilization Mindset. My name is Scott Peper, CEO and founder of Mobilization Funding, and today we're going to talk about two critical and important things in business: labor and talent, and how they go hand in hand. Look, your business is like a baby. It can't take care of itself. It needs help. It needs people. It needs reinforcement. It needs support. It needs you to think about where it's going to be next so you can proactively think about what you need to provide. And when you think about your baby and your business like a baby, it's scary as shit. And yes, that's why this is so hard. Let me get into it with you. A little more than 18 years ago, my wife and I left the hospital with our first daughter, and we were terrified. Matter of fact, we couldn't believe that they were actually going to let us take this little baby out of the hospital and home, and we were going to take care of her. I felt similar to that, not nearly as much, but similar when you start your business. It's scary. You don't know what's going on, and you need help. When we brought our daughter home, we needed someone to show us how to do those first bottles, or the first breastfeeding, or the first diaper change, or the first night's sleep. All those firsts that you encounter and they're terrifying and you're worried about them, they happen in your business too. It's the support system, the people that you have to hire or have around you, which is so critical. And so if you think about having your parents or your in-laws or your friends that have already had babies, as you lean on them to gain information from the people you trust, your business, that baby, needs the same thing. You have to find people that you can trust. You have to hire the accountants, the financial people, the legal people, all of those ancillary things that are similar to the food and the diaper and all the things that you don't know. You have to figure out what you don't know and then grab those folks that know what you need and have been there before so they can be your support system. And when you think about hiring people and talent or paying for resources like consultants or professional services, accountants, lawyers, etc., that talent and that pool and the people you bring around you, that support system, is what anchors you through the rest of your life. Just like a baby getting anchored through the rest of their life with you as an adult and your as parents and the rest of their friends and family, your business needs the same thing. You are its adult. You are its parent. You have to make choices for it. You have to think about how you're going to encounter those items. Just like you wouldn't leave your baby with anyone to watch them, you can't just leave your business with anyone to watch it or certain departments. Just like you wouldn't trust your wallet with someone you don't know, you can't trust your business, its revenue, its financials, the checkbook, to just anyone. You have to think through these things and treat your business just like a baby, because the truth is, your business cannot take care of itself. It requires a parent. It requires a group of parents eventually. But in the meantime, when you're first starting, and for a very long time, it requires you as the owner and leader to care for it just like an infant. Unlike an infant that grows into an adult, a business actually never grows into an adult. It might look like one, but it never can take care of itself. It always needs people. So let's talk now about finding those people. How do you determine who they are? How do you know who you can trust with your baby? Well, that starts with core values. It's important for you to figure out what type of system do you want your business to operate from? Now, there's a lot of systems that your business is going to have to operate from, but the first one is the most important, and that is what type of structured rules, guidelines, type of people, how you're going to do business, the way you're going to go about it. Those are your core values. They come from within you. Picking core values is a lot easier than actually some make it out to be. Many of you may have been with other companies before where you hire consultants and they come in, they take everyone away on a 3-day retreat, and you all chime in on what's important and what you want to do. The reality is the owner of the business needs to pick the core values. Everyone else will decide whether they adhere, believe, and align to those core values also. And if they don't, they'll leave. And then you know what you do? You find someone that will align to them. But you as the owner, you are the parent of this baby. And this baby needs a system that everyone's going to operate under. And that system is core values. So start there. Once you've picked what your core values are, which come from within you and what you want to represent, now you can start to find people that align to that and align to that with the type of talents that you need in each individual department. So when you're out looking for accounting and financial services, well, who knows how to take care of a construction baby? Not just any baby, but a baby that serves the construction industry. How are the financials done in a construction industry different than a restaurant industry? Very differently. So would you find and hire a babysitter that's never taken care of an infant before? No, of course you wouldn't. So you don't want to hire an accountant that's never taken care of a construction company before. There's a perfect example. Think about the same thing when it comes to legal services. Do you want someone that just reads contracts all day long, every day for the manufacturing industry, but never for construction? No. You want them to be focused and have experience in handling and taking care of a construction baby, not just any baby. All right, so let's make this simple. Hiring, firing, promoting, all the things that go along with managing a team and managing people on a team. When you have your core values led from the front, the people that you hire will adhere and think about those particular types of experiences and moments and feelings that they're going to get from those types of core values. What's critical about the core values is now that they're aligned to you and what your mission is and how you want to go about completing that mission or delivering your product or service. Now their talent, what you can teach them, what systems get built, who knows how to build the right system for whatever the department is that you're trying to execute in your business. That's what you want to look at. But first and foremost, you're going to hire people that align to your core values. You're going to fire people that don't align to your core values. And you're going to promote people that understand and align to your core values, not the people who are the best at the job and now they need to lead people. You want to promote people that are the best leaders, the people that are the most humble, the people that love to teach, the people that love to educate, the people that ask lots of questions. I'm going to give you a story. There was a guy about 20 years ago who was promoted after being the best salesperson at what he did. He was so good that he showed lots of people what to sell. He broke every sales record. They even made him a trainer, and he taught people what he did. And the teaching he showed them was he let them drive around with them for a week or two at numerous times throughout the year. So he was promoted. And then that guy spent the next year with 8 salespeople under his wing. And what he became was a person who tried to do all the same things in his own territory. He just tried to do it in 8 territories. We used to call these people super reps. They would be great at what they did because they could manage all the things in their own head, and they had their own little systems that they followed, but they didn't share. You couldn't see what their system was. You didn't really know it. They just kind of had it in them. And they tried to go into 8 other territories and do the same thing. And it was very difficult. Couple things happened. One, your amazing, great sales rep that was promoted, he was actually miserable. He didn't really enjoy his job at all because now he had 8 times the amount of things coming at him, and he didn't have nearly the amount of control over those. He also had 8 individual people that really didn't like him that much. They liked hanging out with him. He might have been funny. He certainly, when they was in the car and in a presentation, he was probably pretty effective for them. But they didn't learn anything. They didn't know what he was actually doing. They just thought the result was awesome. So what did they do? They tried to get him there as much as they could because he could produce a result, but they never learned. Why am I sharing that story with you? Because that guy was me. I was promoted way too early. I had no leadership skills. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just great at sales, so they thought I'd be great at managing salespeople. And the truth is, I didn't know anything. It wasn't until the year 2 that I actually got my face kicked in so hard that I had to be humbled enough to learn how to actually develop a team. And how I learned that, the face kicking I got, was when 4 people quit and I had to go hire for 4 positions, which is more miserable than trying to manage 8 territories, because now there was 4 territories open with nobody in it. So why I tell that story is it's so important for you to promote the people that want to teach. They're not always going to be your best salespeople. They're not always going to be the best in the department, and that's okay. You want to find the people that are the best at following the systems and can teach and execute how you do that in adherence to the core values you have. Sometimes they may be the best at the job, but most often they are not. All right, so let's put that into practice. Let's talk about how many crews do I put on a job? Let's talk about when do I hire new people? Let's talk about I have this problem and we're growing real fast. I need to put people on it. I need help. I need support. How to make those decisions. I'm going to share a story with you first. We had a contractor who had a pretty good sized labor force. And as they were growing, and he was focused on the top line revenue, growing from $7-8 million to $20 or $25 million, they were growing fast. And they were definitely growing where they were focused, which was on the top line. However, and what do I mean by top line? I mean their revenue number. Now, however, what happens when you focus on the top line? Sometimes if you have the right systems in place and you know and can trust those systems, when those dollars start on the top line and flow down the chart and through your expenses to the bottom line, you know that when every dollar you put on the top line produces a certain amount to the bottom line, you end up with a very profitable company. Although, when you focus on the top line and you don't have systems in place, and you don't know what happens when you put $1 on the top and how much of it actually filters through and ends in the bottom, you can end up with a real disaster on your hands. And that's exactly what happened here. Because in most businesses, labor is the key. If you can manage your total labor cost, you actually can determine whether or not you'll be profitable or not. And that's very true in construction and also true in manufacturing. However, when you don't know what those costs are, there's oftentimes that every time you put $1 on top, it actually costs you $1.25. So you lose 25 cents every time you grow. Imagine that. The assumption is the more you grow, the more money you're going to make. But that's a big assumption. That's assuming you're profitable, and it's assuming you execute profitably. When you just hire people every time there's a problem, because it's a normal position that you see in any other company, you just assume that it's okay to have. It might be, but it might not be okay in your business, because your business might not have the systems and processes in place to efficiently manage that. So just because you see other $20 million companies that might have an accounting clerk and a controller and another staff accountant doesn't mean that you can have all three. It might mean you might not have the revenue for that. You might not have the margin for that. You might not have the profitability for that. You might not have any of that. If you don't know those things, that's where you run into trouble. So what's critical about looking at labor and talent is first to look at the systems and processes you have in place. Hire the talent and the labor that's going to put the right systems and processes in place first. Once you have the systems and process in place first, and you know they produce a profitable result, you can then identify what the tasks are inside each one of those departments, inside each one of those systems, and how all those systems talk together. You can have the leadership amongst those departments that will guide you and the business together. Then, and only then, will you know exactly what tasks you need to accomplish inside each department and determine how many employees you need to hire to do that. Sometimes it may not be employees. Sometimes you may find that hiring that outside consultant or outsourcing that department to another place can just do it better for you and more profitably for you and more efficient for you. But you can only know those types of decisions once you've first hired the talent to create the systems and processes around you. That's going back to that baby. You wouldn't leave your baby home alone. You wouldn't leave your baby home alone with just any babysitter either. Think about it. For those of you that have kids, when you think about your first babysitter, you're either going to a service that you know you can trust, you're asking friends you know you can trust. You're not just letting any random stranger come off the street and come watch your baby. So why would you hire people to watch your baby at home that way and not hire someone to watch your baby at work in the same manner? You wouldn't. Start thinking about your business like a baby. Hire the talent and people around you to build your systems and processes first. Then allow yourself, along with that talent, to identify the tasks that are needed and hire the right talent to manage those tasks. Then, and only then, can you focus on the top line revenue growth, which you know then will produce the right bottom line profitability growth for you too. That is what a healthy baby looks like. When you grow that baby, top line and bottom line, now you can grow into a mature, healthy business, just like a baby can grow up to a nice, healthy, mature adult. The mindset shift is labor and talent should be driven by leadership decisions. Your core values, how you come up with them, are from within. Once you do that, you now have the basis and the values for which you're going to lead your team. You're going to find that basis to bring in the new talent to create your systems and processes based on those core values. And that is how you grow a healthy business and take care of a nice, healthy baby. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Have a great week, and may God bless you.